All right, it is Pomme week, and I'm excited about it. And we've got we haven't seen him much this year, but he's done a lot of kayak tournaments with us. But he's working around Pomme and kind of has a lay of the land, and excited to have Matt on here. Matt, man, how you been, man?
Oh, I've been doing good, staying busy, just ready for the this cooler weather to set in and kind of kick the fall off a little bit.
Yeah, man, the weather seems like it's been really nice this week, and then it's supposed to be nice and hot for us on Saturday. So,
Oh, it's
with that,
tournament day. It's,
little
it's going to be adverse. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, we always joke around. Josh has a talent for scheduling tournaments because it's either rain or shine, either we're soaking wet or we're melting. So he's pretty talented.
Oh yeah, I think he's scheduled several tournament days where we've gotten soaked or have been sweating to death. So keeps it interesting that way.
Yeah, man. Well, let's jump right into. Let's talk about Palmy. I don't know how many guys have been down there recently to go pre-fish. I know I've been a couple times this month. But just like tell us what you think of Palmy and what we can expect. Come Saturday.
So the level's been stable for at least a month or so. So things have stabilized. The weather's starting to cool down. Water temperatures are in the low 80s. Um, so I think the fish have been a little more active. We got a ton of bait fish. The threadfin shad spawn this year was unreal. We got more bait fish in the lake right now as far as shad goes than we've had last couple of years. Uh, Bluegill, they're still on their last phase of the spawn, so lots of those up shallow. But we have a lot of smaller fish in the lake this year. We still have, the big, 6, 7 pounder still cruising around. Decent population of 5 pounders. Um, but we get a lot of smaller fish. They are biting, so might be catching a numbers game, trying to trying to get more inches on the board. But nobody's been to Palmy before. It's about 8,300 acres at Normal Pool, which it's at Normal Pool now, which is 838. Um, they're letting their 50 CFS out of the dam, which is a trickle. So there's no water flow, there's no current in the lake. So that's stable. Um, but talking to some guys in some boat tournaments, the top water bites kind of been iffy um, in the mornings. But if it's on, it can be pretty good. But it's you know deeper deeper shelves, bluffs, up shallow early in the morning, doing those bluegill imitations and trying to find those active fish, and then grinding it out. And when the sun gets up and gets hot, and find those shady bluffs and just sweating and grinding. That's kind of what it's been taking.
Yeah, man, I know you and your dad. You guys have fished, quite a few Moyak tournaments, and sounds like life has gotten busy for you guys, and you've kind of been out of it. But it seems like you guys have always done pretty decent at palming, and so it's kind of nice, talking to you guys and kind of getting um, your perspective on it. If someone's never been to palming, like, is there a certain area that you like better than
Um, Depends on the time of the year. Right now, honestly, I would probably fish more, not more main lake, not necessarily by the dam. Being a Saturday, you're going to beat a lot of your bigger boat traffic, lots of wakes, but going way up the creek um, may not be beneficial. But again, you might get lucky and find that magic spot and find some big ones. But my experience in the summertime is finding a little bit of your deeper fish. Once the sun gets up, finding that deep shade, and that's where more of your bigger ones are going to be. My first Moyak, my first kayak tournament I've ever fished was actually on Pomme. It was a Moyak tournament back in 2017. and I'll never forget it. I actually won big bass that tournament. I think it was a 20 and a half inch. She probably weighed 6.5, 7 pounds. But it came off a bluff wall, about 13 feet of water, um, about late morning, middle part of the day. So yeah, recent tournament guys, I've been checking that on the water. Um, Most of their fish are coming off deep rock, deep standing timber. Um, once the sun gets up, if they're not able to get on a morning bite. But yeah, Pomme's pretty special to me. I actually live half a mile from the lake, and been working on the lake for the last 10 years. So it's she's got her own personality. She can make you feel like you know what you're doing one day, and humble you pretty good the next. So she can be kind of fickle.
Yeah, man, it's looking forward to coming here. And our other guest, he just popped on here too, so I'm gonna bring him in. See if we can get him on here. What's up, Mr. Bird?
Hey, yeah, sorry it took me so long to get on. I put the kids down.
Oh, good, man. You turn your camera sideways, it'll work a little bit better. You can see that white head. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think it's my fat head.
What's up, man? How you been?
Good. Ready to do some fishing.
Yeah. Matt just gave us all your waypoints and all your honey holes, and so just if you want to share any more, you go ahead and
Good.
feel free to,
See you
man.
guys there. Yep, I got one waypoint, and it's wet.
Yeah. Got some water on it, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys ask me, "Why are you at work the lake all the time? Where are the fish at?" I say, "In the water."
Yep. It's a small lake. It's not too hard to find them.
No.
That's very true. So Matt was just talking to us about Palmy, kind of what's going on the lake and whatnot. Lance, what do you think, man? What do you think? How many inches is it going to take to take home Palmy?
Maybe like 74, 75. Nah, probably. I'm gonna guess probably 87 and 3/4.
87 and 3/4. So I wrote down a little note. So last year it was 79 and a half. The year before was 81 and a half. The year before that was 84 and a half. And then the year before that was 93 and a quarter. That 93 and a quarter was by Darian Beetle when he had that 22-inch monster that he caught. I think he caught it on a spinner bait, if I remember right. But he would have
Yep.
to he'd have to confirm that.
Got a unicorn.
Yeah, that's a big one for Pommy. Yeah, that's a big one. Usually, I'd say probably the average big size on inches is probably going to be, you know, 21 inches. That's a big one on palm.
Let's say about probably
Lance, where
50% of the field will be in the 60 to 70-inch range with that 13-inch average.
Yeah, that's a good bet. I'd say there'd be if a guy has a limit, can get a limit. He's going to have a bunch of 12 to 14 inches.
Yeah, it's always seems like Palm is one of those like numbers games. Like you can get on a bunch of fish, whether the right fish or not. It's kind of it'll fake out at the end of the day, but he's probably going to go through a lot of smaller fish. Lance, what's the game plan for Saturday? Like, are you getting to pre-fish or at all? Or are you going to just wing it?
I usually just wing this one. I never pre-fish it. Kind of got a spot I usually go to, but just basically power fish the whole time. More cast, more fish. Luck into a big one, maybe somewhere. But yeah, just kind of go off of numbers and cover just as much water as fast as I can, kind of like normal.
Yeah, it'd definitely be an interesting event. Looking forward to it. Lance, how are you doing in the AOY race? I know last year you and Chad were like neck and neck the whole year. So I haven't even noticed how you've been.
Well, not good. I'd have to win like everything for the rest of the year to do it. But yeah, I've not had a great year locally. Just I don't know. Been kind of weird. I've caught fish, just not the right fish, and even the last tournament, I found the right fish. Just I couldn't finish off. I lost one. It's probably about a 22 plus, and would have put me in a top 10 spot, but because I lost that one, I couldn't finish my limit, and it dropped me back quite a ways. So I'm sitting back a ways, which I already missed the 2 tournaments already, so none of my numbers will line up until the very end after they drop 2.
Yeah, that's always something to look forward to. Like, Truman, I sucked there. It was horrible. I can't wait to drop that event. So, like, if guys are still chasing AOY stuff, you get to drop 2 of those events. Your best 5, going to that. So it's always interesting this time of year to see how it shakes out. Um, Matt, I talked about this before, but your dad, he fished summer quite a bit too. And are you guys gonna dust off the OBX and come out on Saturday?
No, unfortunately, we have already had other plans to do some other family stuff. We got a little one on the way, so just trying to get ready for that. And life's kind of gotten busy and kind of had to put fishing on the back burner. We still get out down to the creek and fish off the bank a little bit, but it may be till next year before we can dust off the kayaks and try to get a few tournaments. But I'd like to get after it again sometime, at least join you guys for a couple. But this year's just not in the cards, unfortunately.
Well, you guys are always fun to see out there and talk to. So you guys, come out there whenever you want. Lance, since you were kind of late, you got any questions about Pomme for Matt? Like anything you would be interested in knowing?
Yeah, where's the big fish?
Yeah, I don't know. I seen one 5 pounder in a live well last weekend, and they're a bunch of small ones. So they're they're kind of hit and miss. There's nothing consistent, unfortunately.
Yeah, like the Ozarks kind of struggling too. Their numbers. I think the Monday nighter, it took 4.5 pounds of 2 fish to win it. Second place was 1
Wow.
fish. It got big bass also.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
they're in that funky transition period.
Yeah, because
But
they're not up shallow at night like they have been. I finally got to go
mm,
last night for a little bit, and big girl, she never caught a big one, and last month or so I could usually at least find one big one. So they've moved. I've noticed the crappie have started moving, and things have kind of been moving around a little bit. Kind of that end of summer, fall's getting ready to start, so they're kind of in that, I call it, late summer funk.
Yeah,
But
it'll
the
be
lake
interesting to
is
see what happens. Go ahead. Go ahead.
lake's clear, it's stable. Kind of dingier up the creek arms, but yeah, it's pretty clear. It's not a mud hole or anything. So
oh,
the
what's the water
fish,
level? Is it up any or normal or low or?
it's normal. It looks low, but it's actually at normal pool. It's at 838. So it looks low, but it's actually at normal. So all the trees are sticking out of the water that normally can't see, and a lot of exposed bank. There's not any bushes or anything in the water. It's a normal pool. So if you go up the creek, there's a lot of mud flats and water's pretty low. There's not water where there usually is, like it is in the springtime or early summer.
That's what I was curious. That big rain we had last, if it filled it up any or if they got affected.
No, we got an inch of rain, whatever day that was, and you can't even tell. It's like never come up, and everything's just as dry and dusty as it was before. Ground soaked it up pretty quick.
Good to know.
Matt, you talked earlier about and I've seen it on the lake too, the amount of bait, um, the redfin shad and all that. Redfin fin shad. Um, what do you think that does? Like in terms of fishing, I feel like it makes it somewhat harder for us, but in the overall scheme, I mean, it should make the fishery better, correct?
Yeah, I think that next year these fish are going to be bigger and fatter. It's been kind of lean. We haven't had the bait fish population in the lake the last couple of years like we have now. Uh, last couple of winters, we've had a pretty hard shad die off, and the spawn hasn't been that great in the spring. But this year, with the high water, everything spawned really well. The baits exploded. I think it has scattered the fish out. I noticed the thermocline's like at 35 feet, which usually by this year the thermocline's at 15 feet. The water temperature hasn't got as high as it um, normally has. So I've noticed the fish are more spread out. Um, but Pomme, these bass are kind of weird. Certain times of the year, they're, shad eaters, and some parts of the year, I mean, the big girls, they concentrate on bluegill. So trying to figure out what their targeted food source is at that time's kind of going to key in on where to fish and what to throw. But of course, guys with live scope, maybe it'll tell me something different. But just from fishing 15 feet or less, it's kind of what I've noticed on this lake.
Yeah, I've pulled into a couple pockets and kind of went up, one of the river arms, and it's amazing how much bait is in there. The other thing too I noticed is like the amount of gar and drum. Like it was really wild seeing that. So I think someone could easily win a trash pot with one of them gar. We may have to have a tiebreaker. If someone can't doesn't have a long enough board, but it'll be interesting to see. I saw a ton of gars on Monday when I went out there. It was nuts.
Kind of straight across a big muskie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest muskie I've ever measured for somebody was 44.5 inches. I've talked to some people that's caught some that are pushing 50 or a little over 50, but yeah, they're out deep right now. You'd have to be fishing pretty deep to catch a muskie. Give it a couple months and you can catch one up pretty shallow. But yeah, you catch a gar this time of year, you might have to use your kayak to actually measure your paddle to actually measure it, not a measuring board. They get pretty big.
Lance, what do you think? You think we're gonna melt on Saturday? Think it's gonna get stupid hot, or do you think we're gonna maybe have a little bit of this nicer weather like we've had this week?
Nope. 95 degrees, hot sun. I'll be jumping in the water.
How's the national tail been for you, Lance?
How's the what?
How's the national tail to be at the bass events and all that?
I mean, it's not been as great as it has been. Or I guess I haven't been as great as I have been. Um, Sitting about 27th or 29th or something like that for AOI. So got one left in October down at Caddo Lake, Louisiana, and hoping I can do a top 5 or something down there to help pick up some numbers. Maybe I can jump in that top 10 somehow, but I haven't done the math on see what I actually need to get up there. I know I could, if I do good on one of them, I could drop a pretty high score I got right now. But yeah, it's been a little tougher this year.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be a busy couple weeks for you because you got Caddo that weekend, and then I think the following week you got the 250 on Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Matt, that's one of those events that you and your dad need to dust off some kayaks and come over here to Lake of the Ozarks and try and find one big girl. We'll say you guys go ahead.
When is that tournament?
October 26th.
I'll be on house arrest. Wife will have me take on baby duty, so I'll be out.
Well, let your dad know too. That's fun to come to. And, we get a ton of Moyak guys from this local, but like I said, one fifth we actually check for 10 grand, and we give away a ton of stuff. But that one's fun just for guys to come and hang out with and just fill up that one. Uh,
I'll let Dad know and see if I can't get him out of the house that day and have him go through a lure around the lake a little bit.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I'm looking forward to Saturday. I don't know if you guys are not. I don't know, Lance, are you excited about tournament day, or you're just like another
I'm
Moyak
ready.
event?
I'm ready for it. I feel like it's been forever since I've hooked into something. It's been a slow summer, and I haven't really feel like I've done a lot here lately besides work. Kind of ready to go hit the water.
Yeah, yeah. Troy asked in the comments, "Gives any donuts on Pomme?"
All of them.
He also said, "Get Steve out of the garden and back in the water with us."
Yeah, yeah. He's been busy in the garden, so it's kind of hard to get him out. But I think he'll get the itch again one of these days and get back out there. Especially when his
Cool.
grandsons get big enough, he'll need to get them out and paddle them around.
Yeah, get him on the pack and get him hooked on some fishing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My oldest, he's 5. He can already throw a bait caster and spinning rod, and he's hooked. So he's already stealing all my fishing lures.
That's awesome, man. We're having our check-in over there at the Hickory Ridge Marina. Have you been over there, Matt?
Yeah, it used to be the old '83 Marina. Yeah, yeah, I know where
Okay.
that's at. It's all across the road from where the Lightfoot uh, campground is. So, yep, yep.
That's cool. I
But
guess they're gonna have a food truck out there for us. I'm assuming we got to pay for our own food, but they'll have a food truck out there. So maybe if you
oh,
guys get
cool.
hungry and want to hang out some yakkers, you guys can come out there as well. But it's really cool that they're hosting us this year, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice facility. They have a big gazebo or picnic area. Um, they're not too right up the hill from the marina, so lots of place to park and everything. So that should be good for you guys.
Yeah, my uncle owns it, and my other uncle owns a food truck.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
okay, very nice.
So you're buying all the food.
Yeah, I'll watch people buy some food. I'll be full of donuts.
What kind of food truck is it?
He's got hamburgers, and I haven't actually been over to see his food truck because he just got over there this year, and I haven't got over there this year, so see exactly what's on the menu. But I've heard people eating some hamburgers that are pretty good.
Cool, man. Well, Lance, what's it gonna take? What'd you say? 87? What's it gonna take this year?
Yeah, I mean, if the water's a little bit cooler, if they decide to move up any, as long as they're not in like a really weird funk by the time we get there from going like cool to hot immediately, I still think an 87 could be the number. But if it's not 87, it's going to be about 81. I think it'll be one or the other.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt? You taking the over or the under on 87?
I'm going to take the under. I think it's going to take about 82 and a half inches to win.
But what is that? A bunch of 16s and maybe a 17?
I think guys will average size will be 14, 15 inches, and the guy who wins it'll have about a 20 incher.
About 415 and a half, and 118 and a half.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's going to be one big fish, and the rest of them will be about much a smaller filler fish.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how it'll go. So
Well, guys, seriously, I appreciate you guys coming on here. I know you guys are busy, wife and kids and all that good stuff. So I really appreciate you guys coming on here. Um, Matt, you're always welcome in Moyak, one of the OG, you and your dad. So if you guys ever get a chance, come back out and hang out with us. And Lance, don't suck it up too bad on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll try not to.
how many guys are signed up so far for Pomme? Just curious.
Let me look at it. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Knowing these Packers,
They're
it's
going to sign
probably
up.
like,
Everybody sign up Friday night.
yeah, it's
Yep.
probably 12 right now is my guess.
I think there were 13 when I signed up a few days ago.
Ooh, we got 31. So pretty decent showing so far.
Basically double that. And
Right.
For sure. But
Well,
seriously,
hopefully
guys,
everybody's safe out there this Saturday and watch the wakeboard boats run around. So
yeah, for sure. Well, seriously, guys, thanks for coming on here again. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys out there.
yeah, see you on Saturday.
appreciate it. You guys take care.
Hey,
See
you
you
too.
guys.